Yes, hi, hello, friends. Now that I have my tea, I am truly here. Welcome, Ateren! Congratulations on your sword now, Julie. I'm sorry, this is probably the most boring mod gig on the face of the internet because most people in my chat are grossly well-behaved. Just kidding. Please stay well-behaved, everybody. I love you for that. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Lou. Hi, Anna. I think we might be able to finish Saito's route tonight. We're getting a bit of a late start, so maybe not. But we'll try within reason. In fact, I think there's enough of us here. We can go ahead and get ready to go. We don't need to wait for the timer. So let's get ready to watch our grossly honorable good sword boy do his thing, and hopefully we can like run off and marry him at the end. It has been such a long time since I played Saito's route in the original game. I barely remember like the last half of it, other than Kazuma is essentially the final villain and he goes like full on crazy. But we haven't really seen him in this end of the route, so like I'm questioning my remembrances to like if he showed up more or less, or like, I don't know how much they've changed the back half of Saito's route like they did with a lot of the others. I really don't remember. But even if they did, I think they've made good changes. So, hooray. I think pretty much the last time we actually saw Kazuma was, God, did we even see him in Edo Blossoms? I feel like the last time we saw him was basically when Saito became a Fury. Or somewhat thereafter. Anyway, let's dive on in and see what happens. Ah, that's a good song. Very danceable. But Anna is right. The opening to Nightshade is a fucking banger. It is unexpectedly amazing. We'll be getting back to that after we finish this route. But yeah, like basically the majority of the boys here become vampire-esque. It's like the whole theme of the game. And yes, Lynn, you can hold me to that because honestly, it's been such like we started this game in the summer. I think there are a lot of people who didn't actually see Heisuke's route live, so I'd be down to replay it if people want to see it. It's just so good. We love our Heisuke. He's such a good boy. Okay. Let's take a brief poke at the gallery and just check out our CGs. Heisuke makes it really hard to fall in love with anybody else because he pretty much canonically winds up with a crush on Chizuru, and it's very obvious from the beginning. It makes you feel really bad about trying to go on any other route. So there's the whole blood-sucking thing. Except he's definitely sucking from her earlobe, which is weird. We won't talk about it. Hey, different lighting because it was a different scene. But they're very sweet and adorable and they hug and it's sad and cute. Our boy is a workaholic and he almost collapsed at one point, or did collapse because he was just too fucking tired. We talk with Saito in the moonlight a lot, and he looks great in the moonlight, so, you know. Any TTRPG like this game? I'm going to run one somehow. Don't you worry about that. Our first kiss. Our second kiss before the fade to black. It's also very adorable how Saito is blushing in both of them. He's a sweetie. Alright, let us resume. So, gosh, what happened last time, everybody? Would Ryutama work? I could make it work. I mean, Mesame was basically in this kind of setting. I will hack anything to play what I want. Briefly tangential, so I'll just go quickly. But honestly, like, I'm holding on to the Mesame setting that I did on Scraticus's channel to use again for people who might be interested to play in this, like, Edo period Japan style affair. Yeah, so we parted ways with Hijikata, as Lynn says, because Saito wants to stay and help defend Aizu because he feels loyalty to them for the respect they've given the Shinsengumi all of these years. Everybody was devastated by the execution of their chief, Kondo, because it was, well, basically the Imperials showed him literally no respect whatsoever, and it was kind of awful. And what's left of the Shinsengumi is just sort of splintered and scrambling. And yes, Saito kept trying to make Chizuru go with Hijikata and company because it was going to be safer than staying in Aizu, which is going to become a battleground. And she was like, nah, dude, I love you. I'm staying here. I'm going to stay by your side forever. And it took a while, but we finally got him to understand that. And now they're just adorable. So, my cat keeps stepping out of the room. One moment. Very gross and wholesome. Yes, exactly. The
next day, the Aizu domain had sent a scouting troop to survey the area around Shirakawa Castle, but contact with that troop had been quickly lost, which was an ominous sign for all of us. Saito and I were assigned to leave for Shirakawa in order to uncover any details about their whereabouts. We had made our approach to the castle stealthily, but both of us had an eerie suspicion that something was off.
Yeah, it's actually worth noting, Chizuru's pretty good in this route. Like, she has a decent degree of agency. She's very mom friend and looks after Saito a lot because Lord knows he needs it. And she's very open about her feelings with him when the time is right. And she says a lot of really nice, thoughtful things in her conversations with Saito, they're really a joy to read.
妙だな。人の気配がまるで感じられない。
From what the Aizu officials had told us, all of the Imperial troops were stationed within the castle, but it was conspicuously silent around the entire castle, and it was peculiar to think that there were no activity in or around the castle when we had arrived. As we expected, there was no sign of the scouting team, which was worrisome to say the least. Just then, a rustle in the bushes startled us. Saito immediately clasped his hand around the hilt of his blade, drawing his attention to the rustling bush.
Yukimura, 後ろに隠れていろ。
Okay. I hid behind Saito as he directed. He held in a deep breath, channeling all of his focus to listen for a sign of what the sound could be.
獣ではないな。人間の足音だ。しかもおそらく2人か3人。偵察部隊が戻ってきたのならこちらに合図を送るはず。ということは。
Saito's grip upon his sword tightened apprehensively. Wherever those footsteps were coming from, they were stepping closer and closer to us. Without a second thought, Saito unsheathed his sword and swung fiercely at the approaching stranger. However, the stranger reflexively parried Saito's blade, which must have meant they expected our arrival. The hairs on the back of my neck stood as the moonlight cut through the thick layer of fog, exposing the stranger. It was...
くそ、新政府軍にも意外と腕の立つやつがいるじゃねえか。
well...
って、あれ？サイト？
Nagakura!
For those who are new here, this is the broest bro in the entirety of the Shinsengumi. It is impossible not to love Nagakura. In the, like, you're my whole world, bro kind of way.
As soon as Saito realized that he'd attempted to strike at Nagakura, he sheathed his sword.
新八か。何故あんたがここにいる？
そりゃこっちのセリフだって。いきなり切りかかってくるんじゃねえよ。 相変わらず物騒なやつだな。
Nagakura, what are you doing here?
俺たちは。
おい新八、お前一体誰と話してるんだ？
That voice, it was...
お、斎藤じゃねえか。お前どうしてこんなところにいるんだよ。
Yeah. God, another good callback. Man, the writer on this route actually knows a thing or two about fucking continuity.
Harada, you're here too?
ここで一体何をしている？説明してくれ。
どうもこうもねえよ。新政府軍と戦うためサナと一緒に会津に来たんだけどさ、甲府で戦った羅刹隊がいるだろ。あいつらの姿を見かけたから追っかけてきたってわけだ。
二人で辺りを見張ってたんだが、羅刹隊の連中が白川城に入っていくのが見えた。どうも白川城はもう羅刹どもの巣になっちまってるみてえだな。
What? If there were furies here, especially of the ravenous variety we'd seen in Kofu, then so was my father. Just then,
また足音だ。今度は4、5人。
Saito reached for the hilt of his katana.
I know. Nagakura kept, like, literally as close as he possibly could to his standard affair. And he didn't change his hair at all.
So too did Nagakura and Harada. All of them were ready to move at the drop of a hat. Suddenly, shadows leapt out from their corners onto the path. Soaring to such a lofty height was far beyond the capabilities of a human jump.
来やがったか、羅刹ども。この槍の餌食にしてやるぜ。
Oh yeah, we gonna do a fight.
The Furies charged at us with katanas that were sorely lacking in range compared to Harada's spear, which he had been twirling with glee. Harada reflexively thrust a spear into the chest of an incoming Fury, an act followed by the eerie sounds of mangled bones and blood splattering upon the ground.
目測を誤ったか。
Harada's aim, it seemed, had just barely missed the Fury's heart, which meant that its wound would heal itself soon as if nothing had happened at all. Off to the side, Nagakura thrashed his sword wildly at the crowd of Furies, hoping to sneak a swipe in.
ったく、心臓を一撃で貫かなきゃならねえってのも面倒だよな。すぐ傷が治っちまうんじゃ。失血死なんてのも期待できねえし。
In spite of his outbursts, Nagakura had a small, sly grin on his face. After dodging the path of an incoming enemy sword, Nagakura viciously swiped at the Fury's unguarded arm, and the hiss of flesh splitting cracked in my ear. Saito caught this act in his peripherals.
あんたは何に関しても大雑把すぎだ。
Tell you what, man. When Hakuoki gets the romance right, it's wonderful. And, like, it basically almost always gets the fights right. The sound design in this game is still really good. That's the one thing I'm going to be a little sad about when we go back to Nightshade, because the sound effects in it are pretty subpar. But the rest of Nightshade is amazing.
Unlike Nagakura's frenzied technique, Saito moved with finesse, striking at each of the Fury's vital points before their bodies piled atop one another.
That was a scream.
The desperate cacophonous shrieks of dying furies echoed boorishly throughout the forest. Despite their enhanced speed and strength, the furies still suffered from amateurish swordsmanship.
Ugh, words are hard right now.
And they were no match against the skilled precision demonstrated by Saito, Nagakura, and Harada.
とりあえずこれで全部片付けたか。そう多くなくて助かったな。甲府の時みたいにとんでもねえ数で来られたら切っても切ってもキリがなかったとこだ。
Nagakura wiped the sweat beads dripping from his brow. Then an unexpected voice startled us.
What?
From underneath a pile of dismembered carcasses, one of the Furies murmured a low groan.
なんだ、まだ生きてやがったのか。
待て、何か言いたいことがあるようだ。まだ理性が残っているようだな。
Sorry, Nagakura, I hit enter too fast and cut you off, dude.
なんだ、まだ生きてやがったのか。人思いに楽にしてやるか。
Saito stretched out his arm to stop Nagakura, and then he cautiously approached the Fury. The Fury struggled to catch his breath as his lungs were becoming crushed by the weight of the other bodies. Saito looked him in the eye and spoke curtly.
今合図がどうとか言っていたな。お前が知っていることをすべて話せ。
おかしな真似はするんじゃねえぞ。いくら羅刹だっつっても俺たち3人と戦って勝てるわけねえってことはわかるだろう。
The soldier nodded with displeasure and began to speak.
今白川城の中で羅刹の実験が行われてるんだ。実験が終わったら俺たち古い羅刹は用済みになって始末されちまう。逃げ出そうとした時に羅刹の毒の発作が出て。
お前は何者だ。新政府軍の者か。
The soldier shook his head languidly.
俺たちは軍の人間じゃねえ。新政府軍に雇われたただの住人だ。
That's true, Anna. Gosh, if they left, I don't think they know about Kondo either. Ugh.
新政府軍には百姓でも町人でも区別せずに取り立ててくれる部隊があるって言うんで志願したんだ。もちろんこんな体にされるって知ってれば入りゃしなかったさ。
I give them credit here for actually letting us get a perspective from one of these, like, no-name Fury soldiers. It puts it into perspective just how horrible this whole situation is.
だがあのジジイがおかしな薬を飲ませやがって。
From the soldier's description, I assumed he was speaking about my father.
無茶な戦いに駆り出されるたびに仲間が一人また一人とおかしくなっていき、しまいには用済みとして始末されちまう。
Hearing the sins my father had been committing made my stomach turn. I was speechless.
さっき合図がどうとか言ってたが、鬼どもは何を企んでやがるんだ。
あのジジイは白川城を守ってた会津藩士を
羅刹の実験に使うつもりなんだ。
With each word spoken, the soldier's sunken face became more pale, and he couldn't breathe without wincing. Then, something terribly strange occurred.
俺は死にたくねえよ。化け物になって理性を乗っ取られてこんなことになるなんて思うわ。
He stretched his fingers out toward the sky, but I could swear they were turning white before our eyes. It was almost as if they had been lit ablaze from inside and deteriorated at an astonishing rate. Soon the tips of his fingers resembled the end of a burning incense, his flesh charring into crumbling ash. At the end of this display, only ash remained.
こりゃどういうことだ。羅刹の体が消えてなくなっちまったぜ。心臓を貫いた時や銀の銃弾で撃たれた時とは全然違う死に方だな。羅刹には俺たちがまだ知らねえ秘密が隠されてんのか。
とりあえず城の中に急ごうぜ。あの羅刹の話が本当なら会津藩士たちが危ねえってことだろう。もうすぐ会津ででかい戦が始まるんだし、早めに実験を終えて羅刹部隊を使いてえはずだ。
Right. Everyone nodded in agreement, and we all readied ourselves to rush for Shirakawa Castle. Saito, however, stood firm, as if he weren't joining us. Saito, what's the matter? We need to hurry. His eyes dropped to the ground, and he began muttering to himself.
今日にいた頃も今も俺は数えきれぬほどの人間を切り殺してきた。
Sneak attack punch directly into the feels, huh? Yeah, wow. Rip, nameless fury soldier, you poor farmer or whatever you were, buddy.
俺が握る刀は血塗られている。命を冒涜するのは許せないなどと偉そうなことをのたまうつもりはない。傍から見ればただ人を切るのも実験のために命をもてあそぶのも変わりはないだろう。人斬り同士が食い合いしているだけのことだが、悪にしか裁けぬ悪もあるはずだ。俺の心は羅刹を生み出すものを悪と定めた。
Shame on me. We're gonna go back.
俺の心は羅刹を生み出すものを悪と定めた。鬼どもは倒す。
Also, yikes. That is a whole face. Saito, you are a little scary looking, buddy. He's putting his murder face on.
A tenacious fire emerged behind Saito's bright eyes. His glare alone could have killed a man. After staring angrily at the ground for another moment, he finally looked up and faced me.
待たせてすまない。行くぞ。
Yeah, now is a great time to go be a punch clock villain, Amagiri, and punch out for the day. Kazuma and Kodo, though? Fuck them.
And so, the four of us approached the castle gate, sprinting hastily through the dim, forested trail.
お、城門が見えてきたぜ。見張りはいねえみてえだな。
戦のさなか、しかも中じゃ羅刹の実験をやってるってのに見張りなしか。くせえな。
何か罠があるかもしれん。ゆっくり近づこう。
We didn't really see a whole lot of Shiranui in this route. Other than the common scenes where he shows up with the other two.
We all nodded and stepped tentatively toward the direction of the front gate. Just then,
You are not in late. Not too late anyway, Danny. The bros have returned. We were happy to see them. We had a sad moment with a nameless Fury soldier and watched him die and turn into ash. And we're about to storm the castle.
the crack of gunfire thundered beside us. We all gasped and held our breaths, thinking a nearby rifleman had spotted our movements, but...
分かってんだぜ。そこに隠れてんだろ。
Huh! Holy shit! Weren't we just talking about him not showing up for a while? That's weird.
この際つまんねえ小細工とか駆け引きはなしってことにしようや。俺はお前らとこうして戦えるのを楽しみにしてたんだからよ。
He heard.
That voice.
お前らが来てるってのは分かってんだ。とっとと姿を現してくれよ。
Also, I guess if anybody wants like a screenshot of Shiranui just being Shiranui, there you go.
The tall, tanned demon Shiranui had been waiting for us at the gate's opening.
お前も来ていたのか。
Saito shot a glance at Shiranui with fervent animosity.
今この中で何が行われているか分かっているのか。
Shiranui is a boss. I really wish we saw more of him in some of these routes. He's great. His outfit is completely anachronistic and weird as fuck, but I love him anyway.
大体はな。俺は別に風間や行動のじじいに協力するつもりはねえが、お前らと戦える機会が巡ってきたってのにみすみす放り捨てちまうのももったいねえ気がしてよ。
And as usual, he's just here for the fight. He literally doesn't give a shit about what's going on.
会いたかったぜ。俺と互角に戦えるくらいには腕を磨いてきてくれたんだろうな。
Although Shiranui's own agenda may have been at odds with both Kazuma and my father, it seemed that it hadn't stopped him from seeking to become a nuisance for our own means.
そこを通せと言っても従うつもりはないのだろうな。では強引に通るしかないか。
Saito wrapped his fingers around the hilt of his sword. Before he could move, however, Nagakura interrupted.
サイト、お前は彼女を連れた先に行け。ここは俺たちが何とかする。
だな。あの時の決着をつけるいい機会だ。
なんだと。この者は鬼だぞ。しかも銃を持っている。あんたたち二人では。
He's right. If it's just the two of you against Shiranui, then you'll...
なんだよその顔。 俺たちの腕が信用できねえってか？一緒に視線をくぐってきたってのに薄情なやつだな。
あんたたちを信用していないわけではない。だが
なんだ、戦うのはお前ら二人だけか？別に俺は構わねえぜ。全員の相手をしろとは言われてねえからな。
God damn it, Ethan.
お兄さんも構わねえって言ってるぜ。さっさと行けよ、サイト。
Nagakura brought his guns. The only ones that matter.
すぐにこいつを片付けてお前らの後を追いかけるからよ。
Saito watched this interaction unfold silently, and he glanced between Nagakura and Harada. After a moment, he nodded in confirmation.
分かった。先に行って待っているぞ。必ず追いついてこい。いいな。
分かってるって。お前こそ途中で死ぬんじゃねえぞ。
Honestly, I would not be shocked at all to find Nagakura doing exactly that.
Without another word, Saito turned and sprinted in. I followed behind him as fast as my legs would take me. Saito, was it really okay for us to leave the two of them behind? Neither Nagakura nor Harada had ever drunk the water of life. They were both as human as could be. For the two of them to enter battle with a demon, let alone one as skilled with a gun, felt so reckless.
あの二人は果たせない約束など口にはしない。絶対に追いついてきてくれるはずだ。心配するな。
Saito's words were bestowed with an unbreakable trust, one that had been nurtured for years beside men with whom he had served the Shinsengumi faithfully. Within the castle's interior, it was hauntingly still. If the story told to us by the dying fury outside of the castle was true, then there should have been dozens of Aizu soldiers and furies waiting to greet us inside. Why is it so quiet? Didn't Nagakura say this place was swarming with furies?
実験が行われている部屋から距離があるためか、あるいは。
You might not be wrong, Anna.
Saito's voice trailed off as he wondered to himself, and a chill ran down my spine. Then a startling surprise. A sliding door was flung open. From behind the sliding door came...
Or not.
a gang of
Oh god. Feral Furies is really hard to say. Writers, please don't do that to someone trying to read your fucking script. A gang of feral furies. Try to say that 3 times fast.
A gang of feral furies screeched to signal their arrival, and they leapt feverishly into the room. In response, Saito changed into his fury form. He unsheathed his sword, then he weaved so agilely between the furies my eyes could barely keep up. Inside of a narrow hallway, Saito opted to lunge instead of swinging his sword, piercing limbs to disarm his foes. For Saito, it seemed to be no labor to move through such a cramped corridor, as he had been well versed in fighting in many of Kyoto's narrow passageways. The battle between Furies meant that the serum's enhancements were leveled. Only true swordsmanship could prevail. In the span of one breath, Saito had made quick work of each of the Furies, killing them with grace and ease.
Good lord, you guys, please stop. I'm not even reading it anymore.
素晴らしい力だ。私が作り出した新型の羅刹を一瞬で切り殺してしまうとは。
Ugh. Koda!
This voice, it was...
久しぶりだな。甲府で会った時以来か？
Fuck right off, Kodo.
Father!
わざわざ我が娘をここまで連れてきてくれて感謝するよ。迎えに行く手間が省けたというものだ。
あんたに合わせるためにここに連れてきたわけではない。
I certainly love the finality with which Saito answered him. He like hit that nai very hard. It was good.
結果としてそうなるのだから同じことではないかね。それにしても落ち水がずいぶん体に馴染んでいるようだ。あれから何度羅刹となった？一度きり？それとももう数えきれぬほど力を使ってしまったのかね。
答える必要があるのか？
いや、この間会った時に伝え忘れていたことがあってね。羅刹の力の源が何であるか君は知っているか？
Saito was hesitant to answer given my father's cryptic tone, and he thinned his eyes in anticipation of whatever tricks father might have had up his sleeve.
See, Anna, if this were like our D&D party, we would have already punched him. You have no idea what you're doing. Yeah, we know.
羅刹の人知を超えた力を生み出すもの、それは人間が持つ生命力だ。
Nah, I think I missed a Chizuru narration, but who the hell cares?
その力は神仏からの授かり物でも何でもなく、これから先君が生きるための力を前倒しして使っているに過ぎん。
Shoku! What? If what my father had said were true, then every time Saito activated his fury abilities, had it meant that he was sacrificing his remaining lifespan? Saito's brows furrowed slightly as if he were perplexed by this sudden revelation. But then he muttered in a composed, hushed tone.
なるほど。城の外にいた羅刹が妙な死に方をしたのはそれが原因か。
The fury outside turned to ash without leaving a single trace of his remains behind. So that was because... when your lifespan has been completely depleted, there's nothing holding your body or your matter together? Then that meant that Saito, having already drunk the water of life, will soon suffer the same fate?
Yeah, it was not good for Soji, that's for sure. His fury powers were technically kind of on 24/7 because they were constantly fighting back the effects of the TB. Or trying to heal him constantly.
驚きと絶望で声すら出んか。力を使うたび、君の最後の日が刻一刻と迫ってくる。
Yeah, we all hate Kodo up in here. He's such a douche.
そうだ、絶望しただろう。戦い続ける気力など失せてしまっただろう。
Yeah, he just sounds like an asshole, basically. Also, he's just fucking crazy.
Father began cackling to himself maniacally, just as the despair began to sink in.
そんなことで俺たちが絶望するはずねえじゃねえか。
Ah, Heisuke! A familiar voice called out from behind me. That voice, it was... Heisuke? What are you doing here?
土方さんに言われたんだ。心残りがあるんなら今のうちに片付けてこいってさ。
Our boy! Get some hypesuke in chat for our Heisuke.
Heisuke laughed lightheartedly before shifting an angry glare over at my father.
羅刹の力を使うたび寿命を削られる？最後の日が刻一刻と迫ってくる。
I love this
それが
kid.
どうしたってんだよ。
I love this kid so much. He has my whole heart.
俺たちは今日にいた頃、それこそいつ死んじまってもおかしくねえ毎日を送ってたんだぜ。死盤の前の日なんか怖くて眠れねえ時だってあった。普通に街を歩いてるだけでもいつ不逞老師に切り殺されるかわかんねえ。
Yeah, this whole thing where your friends keep showing up and take care of the small assholes so you can get to the big one. Yeah, this is good. This is hitting my memory, so I think we're gonna end up tangling with Kazuma at the end.
そんな中を生き抜いてきた俺たちが寿命を削られるくらいで絶望するわけねえだろ。だよな、はじめくん。
In response, Saito's mouth twitched into a daring smile.
そうだな。
Death was something both of the Shinsengumi men were intimately familiar with, making my father's attempts to cast doubt in their hearts all the more meaningless.
俺たちにとって命なんてのは花札の手札みてえなもんに過ぎねえ。そしてたった一つしかない命を使ってでっかい賭けに勝ち抜く。俺たちはずっとそうしてきたんだ。
Suddenly, Heisuke's hair became white. In one swift movement, Heisuke drew his sword and bolted rashly in father's direction before sliding the icy sharp blade across his ribcage. However, father was unfazed as the gash left by Heisuke began to seal itself, and the bloody viscera stopped.
はじめくん、ここは俺が何とかするよ。先に行っててくれ。このおっさんを片付けたらすぐに追っかけていくからさ。みんなで鬼退治としゃれ込もうぜ。
Heisuke's words were confident and decisive, and not a hint of doubt could be found in them.
ああ、待っているからな。
Saito nodded, and the two shared a wordless moment in which they acknowledged how much one of them meant to the other. A token of brotherly admiration.
Here we go. On to the final boss.
Atop the large staircase was an enormous grand hall. Rows of ornately decorated tables and seats that were once host to an array of teeming guests, I imagined. In place of the daimyo's chair, however, stood two tall, shadowy figures. Although there were only the two of them, their ghostly aura permeated the entire hall, causing my hair to raise chillingly along the length of my arms.
Yeah, Kazuma's like super fucking dramatic in this route. It's kind of hilarious.
It was all but impossible to flinch. I had made one of the figures out to be Kyuju Amagiri, who upon recognizing me grimaced irritably.
なぜ彼女をここに連れてきたのですか?
Beside him stood Chikage Kazuma, staring vacantly at us.
分かりきったことを。この娘を俺に献上するため連れてきたに決まっているではないか。
Kazuma, I hate that your voice is so good. Yeah, Amagiri is like super fucking done.
こうして言葉を交わすのはいつ以来だ。
Yeah, like, the good part is at least they were consistent with his character in this route, and he's definitely just awful because he's meant to be the villain.
あの頃はまだお前たち新選組も威勢が良かったな。今は見る影もないか。
Kazuma's taunts were met with no reaction from Saito, who continued to glare coldly at the demon.
ご苦労だったな、番犬。我が妻をこちらへ渡してもらおう。
あんたに引き渡すために彼女をここに連れてきたわけではない。
ほう。では何のためだ。
あんたを倒す。彼女も守る。どちらも果たせると思ったから連れてきたまでだ。
Kazuma chortled in amusement from Saito's challenge.
これはいい。俺を倒しその娘を守るときたか。 鳥羽伏見の戦の時のことを忘れてはいまいな。この俺に手も足も出ずボロ切れのようになって落ち水を飲みようやくまともに切り合えるようになったのを忘れたのか。貴様は俺の情けによって生かされたに過ぎぬのだぞ。
Wow. That's a fucking line. You arrogant son of a bitch. I like it though.
あの場で俺は最良の選択をしたと思っている。後悔はしていない。今まで俺が選んできた道は全て正しい道だ。
Yeah, I don't know if this route makes me like super fucking happy or if it depresses me that all of Hakuoki wasn't like this.
そしてこれからも俺は正しい道を歩み続ける自信がある。
Saito's demeanor was unwavering in his refusal to give in to Kazuma's crude verbal provocations.
正しい道だと。他人の命令でしか動けぬただの番犬のお前が何を選択したというのだ。
Wow. Jeez, Kazuma, chill the fuck out, dude.
その娘を守るのは新選組の命令か、それとも今は会津藩か。
今まではそうだったかもしれん。だがこれからは。
Wow, that's a very flat look from Saito. He's like super done with this conversation, I think.
Saito exercised control as he spoke, as if an intense azure flame was being stoked fervently in his eyes.
俺は俺自身の命令で行動する。命を懸けて彼女を守り、貴様を倒す。
In an instant, Saito's hair turned white.
面白い。ではその決意のほどを確かめさせてもらおう。どこからでも遠慮なくかかってこい。天霧、今回は手出しをするなよ。
To Amagiri, Kazuma's victory may have seemed like a foregone conclusion. So Amagiri put up little resistance and scoffed as he leaned his back against the wall.
雪村、あんたも下がっていろ。
Saito,
大丈夫だ。俺はこの男に負けはしない。さあ、下がれ。
I had to believe in Saito. I had to. So I did as he requested, and I rested my back tensely against the wall.
Yeah, I guess we should save. It's been like the entire fucking evening. Thank you for the reminder. It's all been so fucking intense, I just forgot.
Then Saito unsheathed his sword. Their battle had begun. Saito kicked at the ground, hoping to land a critical blow upon Kazuma's exposed neck. Kazuma effortlessly smacked at Saito's blade to parry the strike, and the two swords were fiercely locked. However, Saito, it seemed, was the stronger of the two. The blade trembled in Kazuma's hands, and he persisted by hoping to push Saito back. By then, however, Saito had released the tension and the two stepped back. Kazuma and Saito stood at odds with one another. To Kazuma's surprise, Saito unsheathed a second sword and lunged at him from his side profile. Kazuma raised his sword to deflect the blow, but Saito edged him in speed by a fraction of a second. Every moment mattered, and Saito aimed a precise strike to knock Kazuma's sword from out of his hand.
押し負けた。だと。この俺がこんなまがいものごときに刀を弾かれただと。 バカな。こんなことがあってたまるか。
Kazuma shrieked wildly in disbelief, and he scurried a little distance over to where his sword had fallen. Then... Saito stabbed the tip of his blade into Kazuma's hand as it reached frantically for the sword's hilt, and I heard an eerie crunch as Saito dug the tip deeper into the flesh. Drops of crimson blood stained the castle floor. Thick streams began to trickle in the shape of a web. Kazuma's face scrunched as he grabbed a hold of Saito's blade and pulled it recklessly from his maimed hand. Because of his regenerative powers, Kazuma's hand was sure to heal any moment now, but...
「薄汚れたまがいもののゴミの分際でこの俺の高貴な血を」
Hatred seethed behind Kazuma's lucid eyes, his composure waning steadily as he barked at Saito.
貴様だけは絶対に許さんぞ。ただ殺すだけでは飽き足りぬ。元の形をとどめぬほど細かく切り刻んでやるわ。
I think he's mad? Just a guess? I flinched when Kazuma began screaming at the top of his lungs. It was fear incarnate. Then Kazuma began to transform into a true demon, with golden eyes and stark white hair. It was deity-like, an unimaginable sight.
Also worth noting that all of the other Oni characters only have 2 horns. He has 4. Him strong. Yeah, moment of silence for Amagiri having to put up with this drama queen. For real though.
人間ごときにこの姿を見せてやるのはこれが初めてだぞ。光栄に思え、ゴミ虫。
All of a sudden, Kazuma's composure was restored, and when he spoke, his voice echoed like a temple bell, resonating in a low tone felt deeply in my chest. Saito assumed an offensive stance and then leapt from the ground to rush at Kazuma. But something confounding had happened.
何?
Kazuma, who only moments beforehand was standing right in front of Saito, vanished without a trace. Or did he? Rather, Kazuma had achieved superhuman speed, which accelerated his movements beyond what my eyes were able to follow. I shuddered to think of what Kazuma was capable of if he was to shift his focus from dodging to attacking. Just as I had been contemplating the worst, a blinding flash cut through the air. As my vision was restored, my fears had been realized. Blood spurted from a fresh wound in Saito's chest. Saito! I had no time to react, let alone see what happened. I hadn't seen where the source of his wound came from, but then all of a sudden another bloody gash appeared on Saito's arm. Thick deluges of blood trickled from Saito's exposed flesh, gathering into a pool underneath his drenched body. Saito began to cough blood violently from his mouth. Although his fury powers would have normally healed these lacerations shortly after they'd been inflicted. Kazuma was ruthless. He swung again and again from the shadows, giving Saito no chance to defend himself.
勝負にすらならぬな。 先ほどの勇ましいセリフはどうした？貴様が落ち水を飲んでまで手に入れた力はどうしたのだ？早くかわさぬと血が失せて動けなくなってしまうぞ。ミミズイカの哀れな生き物よ。
Yeah, I think the enrage mode timer definitely passed.
Even with his enhanced strength and speed, Saito proved to be little match against Kazuma's current state. The grand hall, once immaculate and lavish, now had been covered by gruesome spatterings of Saito's blood. No! It was a traumatizing sight, and I couldn't help but cover my eyes in horror. Saito's legs wobbled underneath him as he struggled to endure the grueling pain. It was a pain that I could not begin to fathom. Saito coughed violently once more. In an attempt to support his body, which was under the verge of collapse, he stuck his sword into the ground.
どうした？まがいものの鬼よ。もう立ち上がる気力すら残っておらんか。
Kazuma walked behind Saito and grabbed him by his blood-soaked hair, forcing him to look up.
先ほど何やら抜かしていたな。命をかけてこの娘を守り、俺を倒すと。あれだけ自信たっぷりにほざいておいてこのざまか。己が下した命令とやらはどうしたんだ。
Saito drew haggard breaths, but his eyes were fixed right on Kazuma's seething glare.
だが、俺は寛大なのでな。お前が態度を改めれば、とどめを刺すのは勘弁してやる。そうだな。まずは、俺の目の前に土下座して、畳に額をこすりつけ、先ほどの非礼を詫びてもらおうか。
Wow.
Ka.
どうした？聞こえんぞ。
俺は俺自身の命令にしか従わん。
This is so meaningful for Saito to say that.
己の心に沿わぬ答えなど選んでたまるか。
An unexpected answer to Kazuma, whose eyes twitched in response. And then Kazuma began viciously beating Saito's head into the blood-stained floor like a tama drum.
God, viciously was in there twice. Whoops. Come on, writers, editors.
己の心に沿わぬ答えは選べぬだと。ネズミのクソイカのちっぽけな生き物が傲岸不遜なセリフをほざくな。
Then Kazuma stomped his foot upon the head of Saito as he wailed bitterly.
弱者は強者を敬い、へり下るのが当然なのだ。まがいものごときにこの俺の申し出を断る権限があると思っているのか。
Yeah, die mad about it, Kazuma.
Stop! I couldn't stop my body from shaking as I witnessed Kazuma brutally attacking Saito. Stop! Refusing to watch any longer, I reached my hand for my kodachi when...
Oh shit.
Amagiri brushed off his shoulder and quietly approached Kazuma before throwing a fist at him. Why?
武人の誇りを汚す者は醜い。同族の行いであればなおさら許せません。理由はそれだけです。
Amagiri then looked over at Saito, who was lying in a shallow pool of his own blood.
サイト、刀を研いなさい。落ち水を飲んでいるのなら回遊しちゃいないにせよ。傷は随分塞がったはずです。
Saito squirmed for a brief moment, then he slowly tried raising himself up. An ominous shadow sidled closely behind Amagiri.
許さんぞ、天霧。貴様だけは。
Yikes.
この俺を裏切ってまがいものごときに手を貸しおって。
Exactly, Anna. He is by turns terrifying and yeah. Anyway.
Kazuma snuck up on Amagiri and struck him from behind, causing Amagiri to kneel over the floor in pain. You're horrible! Wasn't Amagiri one of his friends? Kazuma had no visible reaction to my outburst. His aura had changed from earlier. All of the indignance from earlier had dissipated and he fell silent. Kazuma's appearance became ghastly. Then all of it was flipped on its head. The glow of his golden demonic eyes shined above Saito, who had mustered enough strength to stand. Saito!
雪村、下がっていろ。決してそれ以上近づくな。
I bit into my lips and stepped back as I was told. I wanted nothing more than to fight alongside him. But I had to accept the truth that doing so would only serve as a burden to him. So I was in a bit of a conundrum. Kazuma and Saito glared at one another, and the air around us was thick with an electrifying tension. For Saito, timing was everything. All it took was one crucial swing, and victory was his. My knees shook as the tension reached its peak. Kazuma, assuming his battle-ready stance, had broken from his stoic gaze into a malicious smirk, and then... The wind pushed back my hair from the force of Kazuma's swing, which Saito had thankfully dodged. However, Kazuma had anticipated Saito evading his strike, and the demon spun his body around and swung his blade with all of his might at Saito. Saito! Saito had been flung against the wall, kicking up a cloud of dust as he landed. A coughing fit followed soon after, but Saito raised himself back up like it was nothing. Kazuma, however, gave Saito no chance to gather himself, kicking at the ground to lunge for Saito.
遅いぞ、ゴミめが。
隙が見つからん。
Saito weaved around Kazuma, trying to hit at Kazuma from all angles.
God, they like use his name the whole time and it's kind of obnoxious.
Trying to hit at Kazuma from all angles, but he parried each strike without exerting any effort. The metallic hiss of their blades clashing stung my ears, and I watched Saito struggle to find an opportunity to strike as Kazuma easily neutralized each attack. Our chances for victory dwindled with each moment. I nervously wrapped my fingers around my kodachi. All I'd need is a second. I was under no delusion that I could cause any harm to Kazuma, but if I could successfully distract him, then maybe it would be enough for Saito to get the better of him. I took in a deep breath, clenching my fist when...
おいおい、サイド。何やってんだよ。
Bros!
もしかして長らく巡察に出てねえから忘れちまったのか？
俺たちが戦う時気をつけなきゃいけねえ決まりがあったろ。それは
The whole bro squad is here!
絶対に敵と1対1で切り合う。
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good.
Nagakura! Harada! Heisuke! Each of them were filthy, covered in thick layers of blood, sweat, and dust. The result, I imagined, of their hard-fought battles.
遅くなっちまって悪かったな。とっとと片付けちまおうぜ。
そんじゃあ行くぞー。
Heisuke leapt from the floor, racing towards Kazuma with the zeal of a wild animal. Before Kazuma had a chance to finish his thought,
こうやってみんなで一緒に戦ってると、今日にいた頃を思い出すぜ。
Nagakura darted behind Kazuma and put all of his weight into swinging his sword against Kazuma's exposed back.
ザ子供め。
Kazuma turned around to aim a retaliatory strike at Nagakura, but
ザコはどっちだ？今日こそてめえらに引導を渡してやるぜ。
next came Harada rapidly charging forward with his spear, which was aimed right for Kazuma's heart.
サイト、今だ。無敵の剣の威力見せてくれよ。
心得ている。
Saito seized his sword, and he hopped in front of where Kazuma had been standing. Suddenly, all was still. A suffocating tension gripped everyone in the hall. Just then, a flickering sheen followed the path of Saito's polished sword, moving faster than the blink of an eye.
Also, hey, look at that CG.
By the time I'd realized what had happened, a gaping wound was cut across Kazuma's abdomen. Saito stood tall, his blade unblemished by Kazuma's blood. He had performed a perfect iai, to the point that his blade had seemed, to everyone, invisible. Was Saito really able to land the perfect strike on Kazuma? For whatever reason, time was moving excruciatingly slow, and a silent tension still permeated the air. And then, a blood-curdling shriek bellowed throughout the hall. Kazuma fell to the ground, still as a rock.
やったか。
Everyone's fatigue was starting to set, doubly so for Nagakura, who spared no moment dropping to his knees. Saito, on the other hand, still stood with his sword firmly in his grasp, and he walked towards Kazuma. Kazuma's body had returned to its original form. As Saito sauntered quietly towards the fallen demon, it was Amagiri who'd reached the body before Saito did. Amagiri crouched down, inspecting Kazuma's bloody body to verify whether or not he'd been truly killed. And then Amagiri stood up, and he shook his head silently.
見事な立ち筋でした。 成長しましたね、サイト。
Saito nodded stoically in return.
君に伝えなければならないことがあります。
伝えなければならないこと。
行動はこの地で落ち水の最後の実験を行おうとしていました。羅刹の毒を和らげ、少しでも死期を遅らせられるように。陸奥の清らかな水には落ち水の毒を抑える力があるらしい。君もこの地にとどまれば終焉の時を収めることができるかもしれない。毒をその体から全て抜き去ることはできなくとも。
何故それを俺に。
君が本物の武人だからです。羅刹の毒などで早々と死なせてしまうのはあまりに惜しい。この戦はまだ続きます。この陸奥でもさらに北の地でも多くの人々の血が流されるでしょう。薩摩の人々の中には関ヶ原の遺恨を果たすため、徳川家の復讐のため憎しみに駆られて戦う者も多い。けれどそれでは同じことの繰り返しです。100年後、200年後、この合図が今の薩摩や長州と同じ立場になってしまってはあまりに不毛ではないですか。
I don't remember who Amagiri's voice actor is off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up.
だから考えてほしいのです。次の争いを埋まるためにはどうすればいいか。同じ地に住む腹からが憎しみ合い、傷つけ合わないためにはどうすればいいか。武士の武という字は矛を止めると書くのですから。
Amagiri's eyes were thin and relaxed, and his lips formed a peaceful smile. Then, without another word, Amagiri left us. After our conversation, each of us scattered throughout the castle's corridors, releasing Aizu soldiers who'd been captured by the demons before we left at dawn. On our way out, we were welcomed by a serene and clear sky. My skin felt pleasantly cool in the fresh air. Saito, are you okay? How are you feeling out in the sun?
これくらいならどうということはない。
How about you, Heisuke?
まあ木陰を選んで歩けばまだ平気かな。
I see.
空が眩しいや。鬼退治も終わって明日からはまた人間相手の戦の始まりか。
俺ちょっと考えちまったよ。次の争いを生まねえためにはどうすればいいのかな。
お前なんかの頭で考えても答えなんて出るわけねえだろ。諦めろ。
I love it when these three are together. It's the best thing ever.
なんだよ、俺だって武士なんだから矛を止める方法を考えるのが仕事だろ。
争いを生まねえ方法か。やっぱめちゃくちゃ強くなるしかねえんじゃね。こいつとは争ってもいいことねって向こうが勝手に思ってくれれば 誰も喧嘩をふっかけては来ねえだろ。
新八さんはそればっかだな。世の中そう単純にはいかないんだって。
なんだと？生意気抜かしてんじゃねえよ、青二歳が。
Nagakura jokingly wrapped his arm around Heisuke's neck, then dug his knuckles into Heisuke's scalp.
Very dumb sometimes, but good. Yeah, that's pretty much them in a nutshell.
ま、何にせよ戦は始まっちまってるんだしな。そういうのはさっさと白黒つけちまってから考えようぜ。
そうだな。
そんじゃ俺、急いで土方さんの後を追っかけなきゃなんねえから、もう行くよ。どこまで走れるかわかんねえけど、ここまで来たらとことん戦ってみる。
おう、気をつけてな。無様な死に方しやがったら後の世まで語り継いでやるから覚悟しとけよ。
Gosh. Yeah, Heisuke really is a shonen protagonist in like every fucking way.
Take care, Heisuke.
ああ、それじゃ。
Heisuke bowed curtly, then sprinted down the mountain path. His wave and smile sparkled beside the horizon.
そんじゃ俺たちも行くか。次の戦の支度を始めねえとな。
だな。しかし斎藤が土方さんと別行動を取ってるとは思わなかったよな。いつも影みてえにぴったりくっついてたのに。
争ってたもとを分かったわけではない。お互い納得した上でのことだ。
なんだよそりゃ。近藤さんと大喧嘩して新選組を飛び出した俺への嫌味か。
Nagakura chuckled gleefully at Saito, taking pleasure in his playful banter with a wide smile.
でもまあよかったじゃねえか。行き場所がねえなんて言ってたが、お前自分の意思で殿様選んだんだろ。
選んだのは殿様だけじゃねえような気もするけどな。
Harada flashed a smug grin at Saito.
どういう意味だそれは。
Oh shit.
うわ、なんだよ斎藤が顔をあからめてやがる。お前実は影武者か何かか。
God damn, these guys.
After becoming flustered by Nagakura's taunts, Saito quietly creeped his hand downwards to reach for the sword sitting on his right hip.
だからいちいち手を刀に持ってくなって。お前の場合冗談に見えねえから怖いんだよ。
さて、そんじゃ名残惜しいけどそろそろ行くことにするか。
だな。争いをなくすにはどうすりゃいいかこれから考えていかなきゃならねえが、とりあえずは今の戦を全力で戦わねえとな。
二人とも元気でな。生き残ったらまた酒でも飲みに行こうぜ。
そうだな。
Please be safe, you guys. Farewell. Eventually, the two of them disappeared in the distance. Just like when we saw them off in Edo, the backs of Nagakura and Harada became smaller, shrinking into the horizon wherever their path was taking them. Saito, are you okay? Hey, why don't we take a minute to rest here? The sun's out after all.
だが
You've just fought in the battle of your life. For once, take some time to think for yourself.
わかった。そうしよう。
Saito found a shady spot underneath a lush tree.
情などというものはとっさの判断を鈍らせるだけのものだと思っていたが
Oh, this is so cute.
ああしてまた皆と共に戦えるとは思わなかった。
I know.
Ah, there we go. Damn, look at those boots!
Similar to after the Battle of Toba Fushimi, we were left with the difficult task of bidding our dear friends farewell.
忘れはしない。今日での日々も、そして先ほどの戦いも。月日を経ても、鮮やかなまま、この胸に刻みつけられるだろうな。
Same here, Saito. I'd be lying if I said it didn't sadden me to think that I may never see everyone from the Shinsengumi again. But it was inevitable that all of our paths would diverge someday. What mattered most was that our futures were determined by our own will. Our only choice was to live honestly and with conviction. There was no chance to look back or falter, or give in to any urge to let ourselves become consumed by our doubts. We must be strong.
Yay! We've still got the stuff that happens post credits, but wow. Yeah, like, this route felt paced nicely. There was a good balance of the combat stuff and then, like, the sad introspective things. It was just really nicely done. And there was actual fucking progress made. Also, Chizuru with agency is such a good thing. She's such a sweet mom friend when she's actually, like, written well. Yeah, Sano's was... Sano's basically suffered from being, like, 5 chapters too fucking long. It was the same problem every chapter, and it was really obnoxious because it was just Chizuru being mopey and annoying.
Time for the final chapter. Saito and I found ourselves in a land to the northeast, known as Ezo. War continued to ravage the lives scattered across the land. The stench of blood was thick in the air. June 18th, 1869. Only when the shogun had offered his terms of unconditional surrender did the bloodshed cease. Once the chaos had subsided, word reached us of Nagakura's return to Edo. Given his unrelenting dedication to the art of the sword, I wouldn't be surprised to hear if he'd spent every day since arriving in Edo honing his skill. Harada, who had originally traveled beside Nagakura during the war, supposedly left the country, making his way to a faraway place known as Manchuria. For some reason, the image of Harada gallivanting on top of a large stallion across a meadow came to mind. Okita, who had been fighting his illness in Edo, never recovered from his disease and passed away. Hijikata, whose travels took him from Sendai to Ezo, fought bravely in the resistance to the imperial army until his dying breath in battle in Hakodate. Heisuke, I'd heard, gave his life fighting alongside Hijikata. Heisuke had accomplished what he'd hoped for. His loyalty to Hijikata gave him the opportunity to witness how the myth of the Shinsengumi ended. Soma ended up surrendering himself to the Imperial Army as the last standing chief of the Shinsengumi. As for Nomura, we had discovered that he met his end in the Battle of Miyako Bay. As a punishment for putting up a resistance to the Imperial Army, the Aizu domain had their territories revoked, and they moved to Tonami in the far north. Frigid temperatures made Tonami a wasteland. The dry, cracked earth made trees and fauna a rare sight. The Aizu were subject to a plight unlike anything they'd ever seen, left to survive in the harshest of conditions. One day, out of the blue, a message for Saito came from the Aizu. Although it hadn't been the most colorful of proposals, they invited Saito to live with them in amnesty. Saito, of course, accepted. Naturally, it meant that I was moving to Tonami too, alongside Saito. After several months, where's Saito? He should have come back inside our home by now, but he was nowhere to be found. If I remembered, he'd dressed lightly as well. It may be better for me to search for him. I wrapped myself with a thick coat and made my way through a blanket of fresh snow before I'd found Saito. Hoping he hadn't frozen to death, I hollered out to him. Saito! However, Saito showed no reaction. He continued to stare vacantly in the distance. Was it because I was far away? I raised my knees high as I took large steps through the thick wash of snow, slowly making my way to Saito. Saito, what are you doing here? Look at yourself. You have hardly anything warm on. Saito, however, continued to ignore me. Saito, why won't you answer me? You can hear me, can't you? He was only arm's length away from me, and still he refused to turn around. Saito, what's gotten over you? I stomped around his side to look him in the eye, but he merely averted his gaze. What's going on? After stopping to think for a second, I finally thought of the reason why he may have been ignoring me. Hajime! There, can you answer me now? After calling him by his first name, the glimmer of his blue eyes finally came into view.
名前で呼び合おうという約束をすっかり忘れていたようだな。
Well, sorry. Force of habit. I've been calling you Saito for so long I couldn't help it. Anyways, what are you doing out here? You must be freezing.
ここで待っていれば、あんたが迎えに来ると思った。
Every time I think I love this boy too much, he proves me wrong.
So you were waiting for me. But if you had just come straight home, you would have found me.
無論それは知っているが。
Then why were you waiting for me here? I asked him indignantly, but Hajime hadn't answered me. Did you really leave home without bringing something warmer to wear again? Your shoulders might be cold as ice.
別に寒くはない。
But the temperature is below freezing. Let's hurry home. We can warm our bodies back up. I beckoned Hajime to come with me back to our house, but he was rooted.
待て。あと少しで見られる。
See it? See what?
すぐにわかる。待っていろ。
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? What Saito was referring to was completely beyond me, so I stood next to him, shivering in my cloak.
来た。
His head was turned upwards, and then... Small white flakes of snow began to flutter down lazily from the sky. Snow! Is this what you wanted to show me, Hajime?
最初に落ちてくる一粒をあんたと共に見たかった。
Gross.
After another moment, the white flakes began to descend in greater numbers, falling calmly on our heads. It's beautiful.
Look at these two. So disgusting.
Ever since we had moved to Tonami, snow had become a sight with which we were very familiar. But even so, watching the snowflakes float tenderly from above without a sound was a gorgeous, ephemeral experience, both heavenly and fleeting at once. So mesmerizing it felt as though time suspended.
あんたならそう言ってくれると思った。
Hajime stared into the sky with me, letting a little murmur slip out from his lips. Even as we entered a new age known as the Meiji era, it did little to halt the tide of strife still festering about. Over 300 domains were scattered throughout our country, once institutions, now history. With that, Japan as we knew it henceforth was born. Daimyos were stripped of their power and property, which also meant no stipends for mercenaries or ronin. In fact, the government began to implement a kind of conscription service, similar to the West, that encouraged all civilians to serve in one large unified army. Movements to ban the carrying of swords began to gather steam as well, citing the barbarism that had plagued our country for so long. Maybe that time will come soon. A time when the world will no longer need warriors.
たとえ世の中が変わったとしても、武士がいなくなることはあるまい。刀を持たなくても、武士でいることはできる。己の心を裏切らなければ、刀を持たなくとも生まれがどうであっても、その人間は武士だ。
Saito, why are you so good at words? Just dropping more fucking wisdom. And yes, character growth.
After drinking the pure water in Mutsu, and our later move to Tonami, Hajime had no longer been afflicted by the curse of bloodlust. However, after harnessing his fury powers again and again in battle, Hajime's lifespan was shortened. We had no way of knowing how much time he had left. Regardless, it gave us the resolve to take on every challenge life had to offer us with confidence. Our futures were in our hands, and we looked ahead. At last we could live in peace and harmony. Hajime, let's be together forever. Even when the spring comes and melts the snow, and then the summer afterwards, and then the next winter too. Forever. Hajime's voice trailed off, leaving with the icy wind as the snowfall became heavy on our shoulders.
Welcome back, Danny. Yeah, it is so gross. Oh my god. This is so disgusting. These two are revolting and cute and ugh. Well, alright, so Saito and Heisuke unquestionably have the two best routes out of the whole damn story so far. Soji's is a very, very close second. It just has a couple of stupid rearrangements of the plot in Edo Blossoms, but otherwise it's fine. So those are my top three right now. God, that was so good! Felt appropriately paced. We had some really great character growth. Saito is basically amazing. Yeah, Amagiri got to fucking punch Kazuma like we all wanted to do. Here we go. Well, look at this adorableness. They're so fucking cute. This super fucking epic moment. Yeah, okay. So some of you haven't seen Heisuke, which definitely means we need to do his route again. After we get through all of this bullshit. Iba was shaping up to be really good, but then the Edo Blossoms effect kind of ruined that for us. Yeah, so we got all of those. The record of service is super handy for when we need to go chase bad endings, which I'll do eventually. Hello, Redundant UK! We just finished the route. And yeah, I imagine Gekka will be a very good. I know. Speaking of bad endings, Sanan. Oof. I don't know. Let's look if there's Saito DLC. I don't think there is. Nope. Just these guys. But it's unfortunately too late to, like, start another thing. So I guess we get to wrap a little early. I don't normally chase the bad endings or anything. So there's technically a CG we didn't grab. But yeah, I guess we could go do the Hanzo DLC. Do you guys want to do that? We can... Oh, wait, you know what? I don't actually have Nightshade installed yet. Let me do that for, like super fast if I can. It should only take a few minutes.
All right, Ethan, good night.
While it's downloading, let's take a super quick, like 5 or 10 minute break. And then we will resume. Resume-moi. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Hey, good news! Nightshade is downloaded. So if y'all are ready, we can dive into that. All right. Chill out music. We don't need you anymore. I am gonna need to swap over the game. Whoa, the sound effects are gonna be real fucking loud. This is gonna be problematic. Yeah, don't worry. I need time to reset this up, apparently. Pardon as you hear all the game sound. Ah, no, we don't want to do that yet.
戦国忍法帳
I have to fix this. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Look at that.
お待ちしていました
Oh man.
ではお手をどうぞ
Oh no. Nightshade, why don't you have my cloud data? That's problematic. Well, Hakuoki worked. I don't know why Nightshade didn't. Gosh. That might mean we'll have to do Hanzo's route again at some point. I don't know. Let me reboot Steam. I don't know. I have cloud storage enabled on Steam, like, period. So it should work. Well, that's a huge bummer. Well, that kind of sucks. Huh. I mean, on the upside, at least we only went through one route. On the downside, we're probably gonna have to go through that again. Yeah, I could probably dredge them up off of my old computer with a little time and effort. Certainly not doing that tonight. So I guess that plan is aborted. We're gonna try one more time and just see if it will work. If nothing else, whatever. We'll watch the banger of an opening and then we'll call it done.
せ風になびかせる声も引き裂いてしまったそっと残酷そして見失う夜が首元に絡んで闇に響き合いそうな秘密を忍ばせるもっと緩やかに狂い出す痛みが心をえぐりとても花よどう感じらないで迷える瞳が定めに待ちうる切な時をかすかに語り始めた限界に漏れた黒がにじむまであの空を焼き尽くすまでここには戻れないそう誓うなら拭わない罪のうちで満たされた歴史の茨をつかめ抗える刃を胸に秘めて痛みくぶれと腹に散らないで願いますねと腹に散らないで
Yeah, that intro is so fucking good.
百花百郎戦国忍法帳
Hello, Gekka. We love you already.
頑張った成果がここで確認できるようであなたのいろいろな表情が見られるなんてとても素晴らしいですね。
Yep. It did not port anything over. So.
頑張った成果がここで確認できるようです。ご一緒してもよろしいですか？
Guess I'll have to do that manually later. And yeah, redundant. Nightshade is a completely separate game. It takes place in the Sengoku era of Japan, Japanese history. Hakuoki is set in the civil war that leads from the Edo period to the Meiji period of Japanese history. So late 1800s, basically. And it focuses entirely on the organization known as the Shinsengumi, who are rather famous historically and pretty good figures of lots and lots of good drama. So, before we get to next weekend, I will sort out the Nightshade save problem. I'm going to add that to my to-do list for the week. And honestly, I probably should just go ahead and do that with all my other Steam saves. And, that's kind of dumb, I guess. But whatever. I imagine a lot of these other games are like that too. So, I probably should have done that first. Oh well. But yes, today has been quite a day. We did finish Saito's route, so that was good timing, which means we can start Nightshade next weekend. And I think, have we decided, group, that we want to go ahead and pursue Gekamaru's route? I think that's where our hearts lie, yeah. I mean, seems reasonable to me anyway. Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is on Tuesday. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? That should be a fun time. All right. Yeah, we will do Gekka's route because in my heart, he won me over basically immediately, so I kind of want to see it. I really only went for Hanzo first because I'm absolute garbage for Kenjiro Tsuda's fucking voice, so it's literally impossible for me to look at that as an option and go, nah, I think I'll wait. Anyway, we will yell more about this in Otome Tears over on Discord. And if I don't see you all in other adventures along the internet, I will see you next weekend for the various streamy related bullshit.
Take care. おやすみなさい。